Welcome to Rebel Engineering. My name is Jazz, and today I had to remove some dead trees from my property. Naturally, this got me thinking about AI. So doing what any modern American would do, I went and asked ChatGPT to help me out. Remove my dead trees.
I am a chatbot and you are an idiot. Remove your own trees.
Well, AI provided me some direction. I was yearning for more. Then it occurred to me, AI is learning about human behavior through social media. Thankfully, social media brings out the best in people. Soon, AI will be fully equipped to be the perfect companion to nurture humans. We can expect to have fully functional, socially adapted, and productive citizens. Unfortunately, AI is not fully optimized to perform my current task at hand. However, I am not one to be deterred, so I move forward, finding a solution with my very own monkey brain. I had this great idea that I would use some straps to pull out the trees with my forklift. Realizing that I probably could have made it to this point without the help of AI, I had to stop and ask, what is the point of AI? What is it solving? What is it doing for the world? How is it making things better for anyone? Is this really the end-all, be-all in advancing human civilization? Or have we just created a solution without a problem? Being I have one of those newfangled forklift contraptions, I figured I could make short work of this job. Without modern equipment, this would have required a lot of back-breaking work or volunteering my neighbors to stupid games with no prizes. The reality is that machines have been reducing our need for help and interaction from our mortal peers for hundreds of years. AI is posed to rid us of what little human interaction is still burdening us. So I'm ready to pull out a tree. I'm sure I could ask artificial intelligence how to solve this problem for me. It would explore its vast resources of everything involving forklifts and trees and come up with a solution. It would probably be technically accurate, citing industry standards and best practices. For the sake of argument, let's ask ChatGPT how it would handle it. ChatGPT, how can I pull a tree out of the ground using a strap and a forklift? I have to say, I'm not disappointed. It gave me exactly what I expected. Its ability to mansplain is top notch. It started with basic safety procedures and it provided some useful information. It talks about digging down to the roots, cutting the roots if necessary, what type of straps not to use, and how I should be pulling. I can't say following the advice is a bad idea. However, until it asked me to hold its beer, I guess I'm going to have to actually perform the work myself. The first problem I encountered is I'm not one to be told what to do. Plus, it's more fun to fuck around and find out. How else am I going to learn? As I began to rig up the tree, it occurred to me I don't actually have anything to keep the strap from sliding off the fork. Now wanting to walk 100 feet back to my shop, it occurred to me that I have my Leatherman multi-tool on me. It just happens that the pliers fit right in the hole that was cut in the fork. I knew this was a really bad idea, but can we really be sure if we don't try? We can see that things went about as good as you would have expected. Before I was able to pull the tree out of the ground, I snapped my Leatherman in half. We can see that it was no match for a 7,000-pound lifting force. I'm hoping that I can win the award for the worst misuse of a multi-tool. Leatherman, if you're listening, I could really use a sponsorship right now. And maybe also some supervision, because obviously I'm really good at breaking tools and I should not be trusted to be left alone. On a bright note, I learned how Swiss Army knives are made. I didn't actually find the other half of the Leatherman until months later while I was editing this video. Now, I've got 2 Swiss Army knives and a bonus stabby thing. I did eventually rub 2 brain cells together and found a proper pin to hold the strap on the fork. Pulling back to loosen up the roots before lifting made all the difference. Now, if they would just invent something to keep the forklift from rolling away when you get off of it. Back to my question at hand. Is it possible that AI can lead to better social situations? Having a forklift meant I didn't need help with this job. Instead of hiding from the task, my neighbor stopped by just to make sure I was doing it right. Maybe this is the sign of the need for human interaction. Or maybe it's just a sign of how little entertainment there is here. AI is also capable of completing undesirable projects. Maybe AI is the new forklift. I have to ask where AI is going now that it's gobbled up pretty much every last bit of human-produced content. While AI can get smarter with better programming and more unique models, there is a limited amount of data. As AI content exceeds human content on the internet, AI models will primarily feed off each other. Currently, AI models reasonably mirror the human world. It is obvious that many of the photos and videos it produces are an impossible mishmash of impossible situations. Nonetheless, they're based on concepts that we understand. What happens when the models are pushed further without additional human information to learn from? As AI becomes more incestual in its thirst for information, it could create its own reality that's completely foreign to us. I resign myself to the fact that AI is not going to solve my tree problem, so I will have to look for an Iron Age solution. I haven't used a chainsaw in over a year, so this is going to be fun. So to anyone watching who thinks they're going to learn how to cut down trees and use power tools, I'm sorry, you're going to be sorely disappointed. In fact, this video will probably end up on one of those complications with the guy in the hard hat who makes weird faces. AI affects our life in a very different way than other technology has. Over the years, technology technology has reduced the need for manual labor, which has reduced jobs in some areas. However, it created new jobs in other areas. We can debate all day if AI is going to produce better jobs than it takes away. However, one big difference between the technologies of AI and the technologies before it is how we interact with it. Previous technological objects were more to us than just the materials they were made from. We care about these objects, and they have meaning to us. These objects also have meaning to other people in our society, and this gives us something we can bond over. Whether it's a television, a car, a firearm, a tool, a collection of Pez dispensers, there are secondary aspects to consider. These can be anything from talking to a coworker about a show you watched last night, or the hunting trip you went on with your friends, or rented on a car with family members. These technologies created entire new industry, requiring people to learn new skills and encouraging them to be innovative. For the most part, this has required people to get smarter. After cars were introduced, we created a car culture. We have more demand for engineers, salespeople, technicians, and craftsmen. As these technologies developed, there became less need for handcrafted work. However, there became more need for people who understand electronics and information technology. However, when we let the computers do the thinking for us, we have to ask, or not ask, do we still have a place in this society? AI advancement seems to encourage coding in your closet over networking with your peers. Will AI make us smarter and better adapted? It turns out we don't have to wait for the answer. A recent MIT study showed that ChatGPT use led to a significant reduction in brain activity compared to writing on your own. This means that your history of eating paste as a child is no longer the best indication of your current intelligence. Apparently, use it or lose it also applies to your brain. How is it that having all the knowledge of the world in our pocket is actually making us dumber? Your future doctor might be cheating their way through school using ChatGPT. If you ever need an excuse to get healthy, this is it. As I'm bucking down this tree, I must have hit a rock and threw the chain. Not being a regular chainsaw user, I had to stop and figure out how to put it back on. I'm way too lazy to look for directions or ask AI how to fix it. This makes me wonder, what happens if we become too lazy to even use AI? We've already seen people arguing over basic facts when the answer is on the phone that's in their hand. And to set the record straight, I don't care what AI says. Pineapple does not belong on pizzas. Putting the chain back on the saw required a little bit of troubleshooting, but it might have been fairly difficult for someone who's not mechanically inclined. The chain was damaged and would no longer fit in the groove on the bar. Being a cheap ass, I tried to repair the chain by grinding off the burrs that were causing the problem. I quickly determined that the chain was not worth trying to save. It did not take long to figure this out, but it did require a basic understanding of tolerances, surface finishes, abrasives, etc. It is these general tasks requiring interaction with the real world that AI is not currently equipped to perform. Large language models are amazing at finding the information we need from all the data that exists in the world. Advanced robotics can run, jump, and maneuver in ways that's very difficult for most of us humans. However, being able to look at a situation in front of you, truly understanding it, deciding how to act upon it, and then executing that action is far from reality for AI. AI experts like to tell people to become a plumber, assuming that plumbing robots are a ways off. However, a general purpose robot that needs to be able to figure out how to perform daily tasks may actually be more difficult than designing a plumbing robot. AI might be powerful, but it still struggles with adaptation. I decided to replace the chain with a new one. And as a bonus, you get a cringeworthy video of watching me trying to untangle it. Next time, I'll tie you to a chair and make you watch me fold a map incorrectly 20 times. That is, if maps still exist. We're just getting started on our adventures into the void, so make sure you're subscribed. As humans, we absorb vast amounts of information about our natural world, just by the fact that we have to survive here. Most of us are familiar with AI from the generative models that can create images, videos, and text. These tasks are hard to do well, so we naturally attribute a high level of intelligence to them. In some ways, this thinking is odd, because computers have been able to do very sophisticated math for decades. We never attribute any level of human intelligence to them. Our world is full of unknown unknowns. These are situations where problems occur, we don't know why they occurred, and we don't know how to start solving them until we can start figuring out what happened in the first place. AI systems need well-defined problems, and they need a database of well-defined solutions. Many people believe the new reasoning AI models will quickly fill this gap. However, I just see this leading to a level of disposable culture where nothing is ever fixed and everything is replaced with the shiny new. I'm afraid if we hand over even more of our skills to AI and ask it for a solution, it'll just tell us to replace what is broken. Initially, that may be as simple as replacing a broken part. However, as these machines get more complicated, we may get to the point that we are incapable of working on these complex machines. It'll be easier to replace what is broken, whether that's a product, a service, or a person. We're already seeing this with cars. It used to be that your average tinkerer could repair their car over a weekend. As cars became more complicated, you had to be a specialist to do the job. We're now getting to the point where specialists are finding cars cheaper to replace than repair even a few years off the assembly line. For the first time, the life expectancy of cars is actually going down. So I managed to throw the chain again, so back to the repair table. To my wild excitement, I realized that the tool for replacing the chain is right on the handle. Well, aren't I the lucky guy? I actually ended up throwing the chain off quite a few times, which required some troubleshooting. I eventually figured out that the blade tensioning mechanism was properly seated in the hole on the blade bar. This is such a simple problem, but it requires evaluating how the parts interact with each other. For those of you who use chainsaws on a regular basis, you probably said, duh. But for someone like me who uses a chainsaw very occasionally, even as a mechanical engineer, it took a couple tries to figure this out. My experience is that AI is nowhere close to solving problems in the real world, even with this basic level of abstraction. However, I think we're well down the path where AI can optimize designs way better than we could have ever hoped to on our own. This is especially true for structural components that can be modeled with finite element analysis. However, this still requires giving AI all the parameters necessary to complete the design. Optimizing something that already exists is not very hard for AI. With advancements in 3D printing, many of these AI designs can actually be made now. Even before AI, we had huge leaps in design and manufacturing because of CAD. Add AI and CAD is now supercharged. However, I believe it's going to be a huge leap from optimizing a current design to conceptualizing a completely new design, and even a bigger leap into conceptualizing a new way to do things altogether. Most human innovation comes from taking knowledge from one discipline and applying it to another. AI can't do this yet, but it's a helpful tool for engineers and scientists to do so. Over time, I believe that AI will be able to do this just from pattern recognition. The question is, will humans leverage this ability to advance technology, or are we just going to let robots call the shots? Major shifts in society occurred due to inventions like the telephone, the assembly line, and the splitting of the atom. It is unknown how AI will or will not advance society. AI is a universal technology that's poised to affect every aspect of our life. How will it affect the development of future technologies? And more importantly, when will it cut up these damn trees for me? AI is a complex system. Complex systems are systems that are beyond the ability for humans to understand. Humans are very good at complicated systems, such as cars, spaceships, and computers. However, we can't currently understand complex systems. These are systems such as biological systems, social systems, financial systems, large-scale traffic, and even how a pile of sand will collapse. AI is the newest complex system, and one that is truly of our making. To complicate things further, we have not only designed AI to learn on its own, but we've also designed it to adapt on its own. This makes it not only a complex system, but an adaptive complex system. Complex systems like environment are also adaptive, but they do so very slowly. There are challenges inherent to looking back on historical climate data, or trying to process it as it accumulates. We see updated reports on a regular basis of ice core data being redated from millions of years old to only thousands of years old. We really don't know what we don't know. At least in this situation, we have historical data, and the changes are occurring within this planet with which we live. AI can adapt much more quickly than we can observe and understand it. If we put AI on humanity's most challenging desires and problems, we have no idea how it's going to look for solutions. Will AI focus on what is best for humanity, or will it approach these problems on how to better itself? I think it is clear that as the most intelligent species on this planet, we have done things in a manner that is best for us. Why are we naive enough to think that AI would do something different? We have given AI autonomy in advancing itself because if we were to try to micromanage it, it would just slow it down. Even if it does what it believes is best for humankind, it's unlikely we will understand the process with which how it got there. We may cherish the breakthroughs that AI provides while still having very little understanding of the unintended or intended consequences. If we ask AI to advance other complex systems, we are just multiplying these complexities, making it impossible for us to know where landmines might be hidden. How does humanity fit into this new AI-dominated world? The simple answer is we choose not to use AI, we choose to only use it as a tool, or we surrender our thinking and our humanity over to it. There isn't a roadmap, and this won't be easy. Should AI be treated as a new species? Even if you believe that AI is not intelligent, and it never will be, it is still the entity that has the most influence on modern society. If we allow ourselves to become consumed by this fabricated world, we might as well just plug ourselves into the matrix. Let me know in the comments if you think we're moving towards a techno-utopia, or if we're going to be calling AI daddy and begging it for lunch money.